Hello students, Wendy Ansley here, kinesiology professor at College of the Desert. I welcome you to this well-rounded flow. As usual, I have some props nearby, my blocks and straps. Today I want to share with you the benefits of twists. So we have a simple practice where we're going to integrate some twists. And what are the reasons, the benefits of twists? Well, for one, it is good from the hips. It's good for the hips, the spine, and the shoulders, right? I want to tell you, in twists, we almost move from the least mobile all the way to the most mobile. So it delivers amazing benefits. It actually takes the spine and helps restore the natural spine rotation that comes, right, from practicing twists. And the older we get and the more hunched over we are on our computers, the more that we lose that natural rotation. And by practicing twists, it takes that hardened area in our spine and it works on softening it a bit, because the bones are just a natural living tissue, and the more that we practice yoga postures, the more that we integrate length and movement, okay? With that, we reduce back pain, okay? There's a reduction of back pain. Also, de-stressing comes into play, okay? And so what that means is we're going to reduce stress and we're going to reduce anxiety from this flow today. Yoga twists are also important for digestion and detoxification. So when we go into postures where we have these twists, we compress the digestive organs and then we release, and it's almost like we send reoxygenated blood flow. So we compress and then we release. Iyengar used to analyze this and say it's like squeeze, 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 and then soak, soak, soak. So you squeeze the digestive organs, you compress, and then you soak it with recirculated oxygenated blood to reach the areas and heal the body. So it's kind of cool to share that with you. So the theme for our sequence today is de-stress. And de-stress means, again, take away stress and anxiety and truly, truly be present in the practice, okay? So let's take a moment as we fold our hands in Anjali Mudra, heart-centered here, and let's lower our head to the fingertips and just acknowledge that this flow is about de-stressing, taking away stress and anxiety, knowing we all suffer from that. Take a moment in our intention just to truly let these things go through our practice and truly be present in the postures. It starts and ends with you. So this intention is about de-stress and letting go of anxiety and stress. Gently look up. It starts and ends with you. Let's do 2 cleansing breaths here, guys. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Coming up to the edge of our mat, we'll get started with our practice today. Awaken the 4 corners of the feet, lift those arches, spread those toes. Inhale, draw those arms up. Let's clasp around the left wrist. I like to take my thumb and index finger together and make a Jana Mudra. And inhale as we shift now over to the right. Beautiful. Opening that left side body and drawing that right hip forward. Inhale, exhale through the nose. Calm the mind. Inhale, rise. Clasp a hold of the right wrist. Arms outside both of our our head here. And we're going to inhale and shift now over to the left, opening that right side body and drawing that left hip forward just a bit. Lateral rotation. This is so good for the spine. Inhale, rise. Always our breath. We inhale, we exhale through the nose, calm the mind. Exhale, swan dive down. We'll do a little dynamic forward fold as we awaken. If some of you want to use the blocks to help you reach, that's okay. Hands by the shins, the thighs. Inhale, halfway lift. Tailbone is out, gaze forward and down. Back is long. On the exhale, we're going to frame the feet. We're stepping back into our plank. This is our core awakening. Hands under the shoulders, belly button to the spine. We dome the upper back just a bit. Heels are over the balls of the feet, and we're going to stay here several breaths, awakening the core. Active legs. Active shoulders, core awakening. Gently release. We're coming into tabletop here. Hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Let's tuck the toes. Dynamic breath. Inhale, look up, drop the belly, tailbone out. Exhale, round the back, belly button to the spine. Inhale, look up. Exhale, push away. Inhale, look up. Tailbone out. Exhale, round the back, push into the ground. Come back just to our neutral tabletop here. Extend that left arm to the side, abduct the left arm, and thread the left arm underneath here. We're releasing the left shoulder. We're going to lower the left ear to the ground. And I want us to adjust. As I push into my right palm, I kind of re-square my right hip. And I'm going to inhale, exhale through the nose. Breathe into that release of the left shoulder. Gently come back to tabletop. Inhale, I'm drawing the right hand to shoulder level, abducting the right arm. Exhale, I'm threading the right arm underneath. I'm pressing into my left palm, resting my right ear to the ground, and I'm re-centering, drawing that left hip back to the mat, kind of squaring that left hip so it doesn't flare out. Release into this right shoulder. Gently release, come back to tabletop. Walk the palms forward just a few inches. Let's lead with those hips on the exhale. Come into a dynamic down dog, heel and toe, dynamic movement, preparing for our practice. Into a static hold, the feet are hip width apart, maybe a little wider. Press through those palms that are shoulder width apart. Spread those fingers, tailbone back and down, and let's firm those thighs and breathe into any stiffness, any pain. I love hearing the birds singing here. Truly being present. We're going to inhale. We're going to draw that left leg to hip level. Square those hips a bit. Firm right hip. On the exhale, I'm drawing my left knee to my chest, to my nose, placing the left foot next to the left hand. Hands to the hips, and I'm going to do 1 to 2 dynamics. And now I'm going to inhale, draw both arms up. Press through the top of my back foot. Draw length in my spine. Beautiful Low lunge. We'll stay here several breaths. Breathe into that right hip. On the exhale, release. Frame the foot. Connect. Runner's pose. Back leg straight. Press into those palms. Draw the left leg back. Come into Adho Mukha Down Dog. Press through those palms. Length in the spine. Inhale, exhale through the nose. On the inhale, draw the right leg to hip level. Rotate that right pinky in a bit. Square those hips. One-legged down dog. On the exhale, I'm drawing my right knee to the chest, to the nose. I'm rounding the upper back. I'm placing the right foot next to the right hand. Hands to the hips. 1 to 2. Dynamics. Inhale, beautiful low lunge. Anjaneyasana. Let's root through the four corners of the front foot this time. Draw length in the spine while breathing through that left hip. Gently release. Frame the foot. Runner's pose. Hands, plant the hands either side, come into beautiful down dog here. Press through those palms, draw length in the spine. Tailbone back and down, pubis bone back and up. Beautiful Adho Mukha. Stay here several breaths. Inhale, exhale through the nose. Gently release. Let's walk the feet forward. Inhale, halfway lift, either hands to the shins, the thighs, or possibly the ground. Gaze forward and down. Tailbone out and back. Exhale, come into forward fold. Come more to that midfoot. Beautiful. Feel that stretch, that release of the hamstrings. Draw the sternum and chest close to the shins. On the exhale, on the inhale, let's bend the knees, and inhale, let's draw both arms up. Open the chest. Open the heart. Exhale, heart center. Cleansing breath. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Keeping those hips square, we're going to stay in Tadasana, which is our standing rooted pose. We're going to take the right hand outside the left hip and take the left hand outside the right hip, and we're simply gazing over the left shoulder, integrating a little bit of a twist while in Tadasana. Inhale, draw length. Exhale, gaze over the back shoulder. 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale, gaze over. Inhale. Exhale, gaze over. Gently release. Next time you're in line in the grocery store, you could do a little twist in Tadasana here. Keep both hips facing forward. Left hand outside the right hip, right hand outside the left hip, and gaze over the right shoulder. Inhale, draw length. Exhale, gaze over. Inhale, draw length. Exhale, gaze over. Inhale, draw length. Exhale, gaze over. Beautiful. That's how we incorporate little spinal twists in our daily life. Inhale, draw those arms up. Exhale, swan dive down. Come into forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, hands, shins, thighs, or ground. Exhale, frame the feet, step back into our core awakening here. Hands under the shoulders. Draw the belly button to the spine. Dome the upper back just a bit and draw the shoulder blades together. Stay here several breaths. Active legs, active shoulders. Never underestimate the power of a beautiful plank. Gently lower to the knees, tabletop. We're tucking the toes, hands under the shoulders. Knees under the hips. On the inhale, we're abducting the left arm. On the exhale, we thread the left arm, resting the left ear to the ground. Many of us are going to simply stay here. I like to tuck my toes. Some of us are going to draw the right arm up for a little bit of a spinal twist. And some of you may take the right hand now inside the left inner thigh and gaze over the right shoulder as we press the left ear to the ground and still adjusting those hips. Good. Now we have a spinal twist with a shoulder opener. Stay here 2 more breath cycles. Beautiful. Preparing for an amazing practice. Lower the hands. Let's come back to tabletop here. Beautiful. Inhale, we're going to draw that right arm up and now abduct this right arm and rest the right ear to the ground. Beautiful. Many of us will stay here. Some of us may now raise that left arm to the ceiling. And eventually the left hand outside the right hip and gaze over this left shoulder. Yes, while rooting the right ear to the ground and really releasing the right shoulder. Shoulder opener, spinal twist. Several more breaths. Gently release, de-stressing, letting the stress and the anxiety going. Beautiful. Walk the hands forward from tabletop a few inches. Exhale, lead with those hips. Little dynamic down dog, heel and toe. Beautiful. Static hold, come into down dog. Press through those palms, draw length in the spine, tailbone back and down, pubis bone back and up. Stay here several breaths. Inhale, exhale through the nose. On the inhale, we're going to draw the left leg up to hip level, square the left hip. On the exhale, draw the left knee to the chest, to the nose. Place the left foot next to the left hand. Hands to those hips, hands to the heart, and let's sink a little bit lower in low lunge. Now let's add a twist in low lunge. We're going to shift the hands to the left, elbows up, and then extend those arms from the center of the chest, yet drawing that right hip inward. Spinal twist, low lunge. The whole body is connected. Stay here several breaths. Hands come heart-centered, face forward. I love it. On the exhale, draw the hands to the ground. Come back into runner's pose. Plant the hands, come back into Adho Mukha down dog. Let's do a cleansing breath in down dog. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, we're going to lift that right leg and down dog. Just a hip level. On the exhale, we're going to draw the right knee to the chest, to the nose. Place the right foot next to the right hand. Hands to the hips, hands heart-centered, and sink lower into Anjaneyasana. Adjusting the arms to the right. Extend those arms from the center of the chest. Really extend those arms, yet draw that left hip inward so we have a spinal twist. We're all connected, truly being present. Draw the palms together, heart-centered. On the exhale, frame the foot. Connect runner's pose, back leg straight. Palms into the ground. Adjust, come back to our down dog here. Let's widen those heels. Feel those inner thighs spiraling back and continue to draw the shoulders down the back ribs. Breathe into any pain, any discomfort, de-stressing. Transition, we're going to walk the feet forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Tailbone out and back. Exhale, come into deep forward fold. Sternum and chest close to the shins. Take the tops of the hands, let's press them into the ground here and just awaken the wrists just a bit. And maybe shift the hips side to side. Wrist relieve, we call this, and the fingers come towards one another. Fingers move away. Gently bend the knees. Inhale, open the chest and open the heart. Exhale, heart-centered. Beautiful. Very proud of you guys. Come to the center of the mat. It's a beautiful sequence, a feel-good, de-stress sequence that you all deserve. In Tadasana, we're going to simply add a hop here. Press outer edges of the feet. Awaken those arches. Activate those inner thighs. Rotate those big toes in just slightly. Draw those hands behind it. I want you to simply draw the elbows towards one another. Open the chest, open the heart. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, come forward. Hands directly under the shoulders. Beautiful. Activate the arches in the feet. We're going to quarter turn, I'm mirroring you here, your right foot. We're going to lift that right heel as we rock forward and back. And I want you to press outer edge of this extended leg. You're kind of awakening those adductors. Eventually, can you lower the heel to the ground and take those toes up as you press extended heel into the ground? Elbows on the inside, beautiful Skandasana. I want you to draw length in the spine as we root into the ground here. Beautiful. And now we're really breathing into those hamstrings. We're going to grow the pose as you extend the right arm and draw the left arm up. Beautiful. Majority of you will simply stay here. Keep the spine long. A few of you may be able to come into a bind here as we clasp both hands and then gaze over the top shoulder here. Gently release. Hands on the inside. Adjust as we come into Skandasana now. You're going to quarter turn your left foot. We're going to press outer edge of that extended leg and we're rocking it forward and back. Eventually we're lowering the heel to the ground. Toes come up. And we're coming into low lunge. Not low lunge, Skandasana. Beautiful groin stretch. Beautiful, beautiful hamstring stretch. And now we're going to grow the pose. We're going to extend and reach your left arm down low, your right arm up, and simply come into a little rotation of the spine. We'll stay here several breaths. Some of you may now come into a little bit of a bind where we wrap the arms around the front of the leg here and the back, and we gaze over the top shoulder. Gently release. Let's walk the hands back center. Hands under the shoulders here. We're gazing forward. Let's add now a spinal twist here. So you're going to take your left hand in the middle here, kind of under the face, and you're going to draw this right arm up. But while you do that, I want you to kind of level the pelvis. Many of us will simply stay here. Another variation, we might take the right hand to the left hip and then take the left hand to the right ankle, but still level the pelvis, gaze over the top shoulder. Stay here several breath cycles. I love it. Release. Hands forward, under the shoulders. Let's take your right hand, draw it to the center, and draw that left arm up in a spinal twist. Many of us are simply going to stay here. This is a beautiful spinal twist and level the pelvis. Some of us may take the left hand now outside the right hip, and eventually the right hand now outside the left ankle and really come into this Prasarita with a twist, gazing over the left shoulder, but yet still trying to level the pelvis. Gently release. Hands center. Beautiful. Let's take those hands to the ground here. Let's draw the belly button to the spine. And let's strengthen the back as we inhale, back is flat, and rise. Beautiful way to strengthen the back. Heel toe. Cleansing breath. Inhale. Exhale. I love it. Our standing posture, another standing posture we're going to do is revolved triangle. So let's take the block this time. Let's all use a block. Let's make a commitment to alignment and form. We'll start with the left leg out in front, right leg behind you, and we will take the block for beginners inside, for more advanced outside. Okay? So most of us, I think a majority of my practice, I used to keep the block on the inside for alignment and form. And to this day, I still do sometimes when I want a lighter practice. So first we want to back foot 45 to 60 degrees, front foot pointing straight ahead. Heel intersects with back heel to arch. Can we square those hips forward? That's a goal. Inhale, we're going to draw those arms up. Let's take the left hand to the hip and draw that right arm up. Draw length. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, come forward. Either beginners, we're going to keep the hand on the inside of the left foot or on the outside, and we're going to leverage this rotation. Beautiful. Hand on the hip for more beginners, and more advanced, draw that left arm up. Left top ribs back, right bottom ribs forward. Press outer edge of the back foot. Leverage this rotation here. Stay here several breath cycles. Left hand on the hip, gaze at that big toe. Inhale and rise. Beautiful, cleansing breath. Step forward, cleansing breath. Inhale. Exhale. So again, this standing posture has the element of the twist in it. And that is so good for the mid-thoracic and the pelvic hip girdle. So now we're going to draw the block either inside the right foot or on the outside. And the back foot is connected a few inches shorter than one leg length, just a few inches shorter. Heel intersects with that back heel or the back arch. And we want to square those hips forward. Inhale, draw both arms up. Just draw length at first. Lower the right hand to the right hip. Inhale, draw length. Exhale, come forward. Beautiful. Hand inside the foot for the beginners, or more outside for advanced. Hand on the hip for stability. And then gaze up at the hand if you can, unless the neck bothers you. Draw the top ribs back, bottom ribs forward. Stable back foot, stable hips. Right hand on the hip, gaze at that right big toe. Press that left palm and rise. That is not an easy pose by any means. Step forward, cleansing breath. Inhale. Exhale. Taking the blocks here, let's adjust. We are awake here. We're going to take the blocks about shoulder width apart. Beginners, you can simply hold down dog. Okay, we're going to add a vinyasa, either partial chaturanga or chaturanga. You decide. It begins and ends with you. So we have the blocks. I like to place my heel of the hand on the blocks. As we come into down dog, Adho Mukha, it just gives us another little level here. I love it. Kind of shake it out, maybe shake out that down dog. Beautiful. On the exhale, we begin to transition into plank. And now you can either hold down dog, whatever your flow is. I'm going to come into chaturanga as I bring my sternum and chest forward, elbows by the side, gaze forward and down. Inhale, press through my tops of the feet. Draw my pelvis forward, broaden the collarbones. Knees and thighs off the ground, shoulders down the back ribs, gaze up. On the exhale, I come into beautiful down dog. Stay here several breaths. I'm drawing the right block inside a few inches now. I'm preparing for a down dog with a twist. I'm pressing into that right block, heel of the hand on the block, left arm up, down dog with a twist. My left heel is lifted just a bit. stay here several breaths. Maybe I want to go deeper and take the left hand outside my right hip, inside the inner right thigh, gaze over the left shoulder. Gently release. Come back to down dog. Adjust those blocks, they're shoulder width here. Cleansing breath here. Inhale. Exhale. And now I'm going to adjust the left block, bring it center a little bit. Kind of right in the center under my face here. Press into the left block and draw my right arm up. Beautiful. Heel of the hand on the strong block here. Some of us might take the right hand outside of the left hip here. In the left inner thigh here. Gaze over the right shoulder. Beautiful. Down dog with a spinal twist. Gently release. Take the blocks again. Press into those blocks, shoulder width apart. Down dog. From down dog, we're going to lower to the knees. Let's do a wide-legged child's pose. Big toes touching. Widen the knees. I like to press my palms into my blocks, if you have blocks, or the ground, doesn't matter, and send those hips back, hips towards the heels, all wide, drawing length in the spine. Inhale, create length. Exhale, melt into the ground. Gently release. Removing those blocks. Very proud of you guys. We're going to come onto our stomachs here and prepare for a little spinal extension with our cobra. First, we're just going to lie on our stomachs, rest the forehead to the ground, lengthen the cervical vertebrae. Kind of just breathe into a release here. And now my feet are going to be hip distance apart. I'm going to press through the tops of the feet. I'm going to hover my hands an inch or two below the bra strap here. They're hovering, they're not touching the ground. I'm pressing through the tops of my feet. I'm using my back muscles to leverage the chest. Now I'm going to press into the ground. Inhale, rise. Follow my breath. Inhale, rise. Elbows close to the side. Pubis bone onto the ground. Inhale, rise. Inhale, rise. Inhale, rise. Inhale, rise. Gaze up. We're going to stay here a while. Cobra Bhujangasana. Gently release. Beautiful. Rest the forehead to the ground. Breathe into the back. Just let it go. Come out of the pose, come into tabletop. And we're going to have a seat here. We're going to do several spinal twists here. We're going to repeat them several times. Known as Bharadvajrasana, sage pose, or sometimes noose pose. We're going to take that right leg and draw into plantar flexion. Right heel near the right buttock, near the right outer hip, I want to say. We're going to draw the left heel towards the pubis bone with my foot kind of underneath the right thigh. Beautiful. And I want to root through those sitting bones. We're going to draw the right hand outside the left knee, the fingertips behind, rooted the fingertips into the ground. Inhale, we're going to draw length. Exhale, gaze over the back shoulder, the left shoulder. Again, inhale, draw length. Exhale, gaze over the back shoulder. Inhale, draw length. Exhale, gaze over the back shoulder. 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Gently release. Come back center. Remember when I told you moving from least mobile to the most mobile, that's part of the breath and the movement here and the articulation of the spine. Draw that left foot back, come into plantar flexion, heel towards the outer hip here. Draw that right heel near the pubis bone and the foot under the thigh here. Beautiful. Take the left hand outside of the right knee and take the fingertips behind. Inhale, draw length. Exhale, gaze over the right shoulder. Inhale, draw length. Exhale, gaze over. Inhale, draw length. Exhale, gaze over. Inhale, draw length. Exhale, gaze over. One more time. Inhale, draw length. Exhale, gaze over. Gently release. Facing forward. We're going to breathe evenly now as we come into a forward fold. Now it's a symmetrical. The legs are both in the same way and breathe evenly. If you want to sit on a blanket or something like a smaller little block to take and have this pelvis rotate forward. There's a few people who tend to rotate back like this, and that's a challenge, okay? Widening the feet might help. Softly bending the knees is okay while we're trying to learn this. Eventually, though, we want to be able to keep those legs straight and kind of we internally rotate the thighs a bit. Some of you, this might help if you have a hard time reaching the toes. You work on this, you draw length, and it helps you come forward. We do the best that we can do. We honor where we are. We're all built differently anatomically. I like to take the block and remind my feet to take outer edges of the feet, rotate back, and when I do this, I engage my quadriceps and I release the hamstrings. We call that reciprocal inhibition. Inhale, draw length. Exhale, reach forward 2 inches. I want you to keep reaching 3 inches, 4 inches, a little bit farther, and then we're gonna nestle down, outer edges of the feet coming back, engage the quadriceps to release the hamstrings. Reciprocal inhibition, engaging the agonist to release the antagonist muscle groups. Inhale and rise. Beautiful. Barad Vajrasana again. Oh no, hero's coming up to me. So we're going to draw, little hero, we're going to draw that right foot back, plantar flexion. And we're going to draw that left heel near the pubis bone, left foot right underneath that right thigh. We're going to right away draw length, root through the sitting bones. Take the right hand outside the left knee, left hand behind. Inhale, draw length. Exhale, gaze over the left shoulder, release. Inhale, draw length. Exhale, gaze over. Inhale, draw length. Exhale, gaze over. Inhale, draw length. Exhale, gaze over. One more time, inhale. Exhale, gaze over. Coming back to Barad Vajrasana, the sage pose, the noose pose. We're going to take the left foot, come back into plantar flexion. Draw that right heel inside near the pubis bone, right foot underneath. Root through the sitting bones, draw length. Take the left hand outside the right knee, right hand behind. Inhale, draw length. Exhale, gaze over the right shoulder, releasing the upper and middle back. Inhale, draw length. Exhale, gaze over. 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 Gently release. Beautiful. Rooting through the sitting bones, drawing length. We're going to prepare for our forward fold, our last hold today, our last posture. Always try to rotate that pelvis forward. Inhale, draw length. Exhale, I want you to reach forward 2 inches, 3 inches, 4 inches, 6 inches. Keep reaching, 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 and truly let everything go. Exhale is longer than the inhale. We're going to stay here a while. De-stressing. Breathe into the release of the stress, release of the anxiety. Inhale and rise. Beautiful. Rooting into the ground, reaching up, neutralizing the spine. Preparing for our Shavasana. This has been a beautiful practice today. We've really taken care of our body, and we moved it in ways just to promote lower back pain being gone, rotation of the spine, just moving in our body in a beautiful way, de-stressing and reducing anxiety. Truly letting everything go now. Take one last breath. Reflect back on your intention. You are worth this practice today. Letting the stress go, letting the anxiety go. Let's take one last long breath. Release. Often we relax our palms, relax our feet. Knowing that when we take care of ourselves, we recognize the light within. And it's important to recognize the light of others. As you let everything go, coming into the theme of Namaste, stay here as long as you need. Regenerate, let it go.